And earlier this week, we got yet another rumor about a potential trade partner for Dalton Knecht. That team being a conference rival and a team the Lakers are very familiar with at this point, that being the Denver Nuggets. According to Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report, Dalton Knecht would be a dream target for their team and they might be willing to get involved in a 3-team deal for Dalton Knecht. And well, that might be a bit complicated, but it could theoretically happen. And that's not the only report linking Dalton Knecht to the trade market. Maybe the only one linking them to the Denver Nuggets, but definitely not the only trade report. Prior to that one, we got one from the LA Times saying that the Lakers' best trade assets are their 2031 first-round draft pick, second-year wing Dalton Knecht, and a bunch of expiring contracts. That one coming from Dan Wilkie of the LA Times, and with him writing that some combination of them must be in any deal the team would make for a center. And then last but not least from Chris Mannix, him saying that the Lakers will use the assets that they put in the deal for Mark Williams, specifically Dalton Knecht and the first-round draft pick. They'll try to put those pieces back together and acquire somebody else. And going back to the report about the Nuggets trying to get him, they actually could be a helpful team in the right trade. For example, if the Lakers would try to trade for Nick Claxton, which we have heard about, they might be able to trade Dalton Knecht to the Nuggets and therefore save their 2031 first-round draft pick and let the Nuggets send that draft pick for them. For example, here we have a trade for Nick Claxton including Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber being traded to Brooklyn, but no Lakers first-round draft pick going to Brooklyn, which is what I usually include here in any trade for Nick Claxton. But rather, by including the Denver Nuggets, we have Dalton Knecht going to Denver and the Nuggets' 2031 first-round draft pick going to Brooklyn, with Zeke Naji going off their payroll and the bad contract they gave him going back to Brooklyn, which they likely would take in exchange for that draft pick, being either lightly protected or completely unprotected, and probably be able to make this trade after that point. So again, that's how a trade with the Denver Nuggets, or rather including them in a trade, could help the Lakers out and really benefit them through a trade too, allowing them to save their 2031 future first-round draft pick, not only for the future but then for a different trade and giving them another way to upgrade their team this summer. Then getting their starting center, that being Nick Claxton, who I think is a great fit and I would make a trade for, whether it's this kind of trade or some other kind of trade, and simply being the third team that helps the trade get done that normally would not be able to get done. Now, this might not be the final way this trade would get done, and maybe a little more draft compensation might be required here, maybe a future second-round draft pick, maybe a future first-round draft pick swap, but regardless, this is how a trade could work between them and how a trade with Dalton Knecht to the Denver Nuggets could actually work. Everything in regard to assets, fit, and then actually making the salary work as the Nuggets are above the first apron. This is how that might work, and could potentially benefit all three parties too. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.